again, Nicole, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a very, very, very tiny September wrap-up and a very, very, very big, ambitious October TBR. So, unfortunately, in September, I only read 2 books, one for school and one book I wanted to read, and then I started reading a 3rd book. So the first book I read was for school, and it's Giovannis Room by James Baldwin. And it's an LGBTQ plus book, and I had to read it for my gender and sexuality studies course I'm taking. And it's set in Paris, and yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because it was set in Paris, and is a type of book I normally don't read. I gave it 2.75 out of 5 paw prints. So yeah. And then the next book I read that I wanted to read was RoseBlood by A.G. Howard. RoseBlood by A.G. Howard, I gave 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. I freaking adored it. It's probably one of my favorite books of 2017, and is basically a Phantom of the Opera retelling, and it follows Rue Germain, who has tragedy in her life and wants to escape her past, so her mom sends her to a music conservatory in Paris called RoseBlood, where she can work on opera, and her voice is kind of a curse because if she hears any opera music or arias, she has to sing and she can't hold it back. And I love the Phantom of the Opera, and it was a really good retelling. If you want a spoiler-free review, I will link my review on my blog down below. And if you read it and you want to see my book talk, I will also put that up here and link it down below. But yeah, I love this book and I highly recommend it. So those were the 2 books I completed in September, and then I started a 3rd book. It is Serafina and the Black Cloak by Robert Beatty, however you say that, but it is a story that takes place in the Biltmore Mansion in the North Carolina mountains, and it's about a girl who lives in the basement of the Biltmore house. Her and her father do, and her father is a mechanic at the Biltmore house, but the Vanderbilts don't know they live in the basement because they're too poor to get a place of their own, and the children at the Biltmore estate start to disappear, and Serafina wants to find a way to save all the children, but she can't let the Vanderbilts and everybody else in the estate know who she is and that her and her dad are living in the basement. So she befriends Braden Vanderbilt, the nephew of the Vanderbilts, and they try to figure out the mystery. I'm really enjoying it. It's a middle grade novel, so I find it to be a little juvenile at times, but it's understandable since it is a middle grade novel, but I do enjoy the imagery from the Biltmore estate because I have been there before. But I'm hoping to finish it either today or tomorrow. So I know I didn't have a very good reading month in September, but I did a lot better than August, and hopefully I'll do even better in October. I have really high hopes, so no further ado, let's talk about what I want to read in October. So the first book I want to read is Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Moniscalco, and it's about a girl who lives in the Victorian era, and her name is Audrey, and unfortunately her mom passes away, so she gets really interested in death, so she secretly is an apprentice for forensics and somehow gets involved with the Jack the Ripper case, and I think she may fall in love with Jack the Ripper. So I love reading things about Jack the Ripper, and I'm looking forward to it, and it will be the perfect fall read. Then the next book I want to read is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire by J.K. Rowling, which is the fourth book in the Harry Potter series. I love Harry Potter. My goal is to finish the series by the end of 2017. And if you don't know what Harry Potter is, I'm sorry, but I'm not explaining it because you should. It's amazing. If you haven't read it, go check it out. The next book I want to read is A Great and Terrible Beauty, and this is a historical fiction novel about a girl named Gemma Doyle whose family lives in India, but when tragedy strikes her family, she moves to a boarding school in England, and she's a lot different than any other girl at the boarding school because she's not very proper, and she's a clairvoyant, I believe, and I'm really excited for this one because not only is it set in a boarding school and it has paranormal aspects, but it's also a historical fiction novel, which all these are my favorite things to read about wrapped in one book. So I'm really looking forward to it, and if I like it, I'm going to continue on with the series. So the next book I want to read is Hallow City by Ransom Riggs. Hallow City is the second book in the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series, and I really enjoyed the first one, and I'm looking forward to this one. I'm not going to go into what it's about because I don't want to spoil anything, but I highly recommend the series. The next book I want to read, I currently don't have. I ordered it. It will be here tomorrow, but it's Byrd Box by Josh Malerman, which is an adult thriller novel about a world where everybody has to go out in the world in blindfolds because there's something sinister going on, and if they take off their blindfolds and look at it, they will die. And it follows a woman and her children trying to survive in the world with blindfolds, and I think it sounds really creepy and awesome, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. So the next book I want to read is The Crucible by Arthur Miller. I'm wanting to read more classics, so this will be my classic for October. So basically, this is a classic that follows the Salem witch trials, and everybody accuses everyone else for being a witch and for seeing the devil, and everybody starts hanging everybody, and basically, if you lied and said you were a witch, even when you weren't, you would be hung. but if you told the truth and said you weren't a witch, they would think you were lying, and then they would still hang you. So, but I have to make a lesson plan for one of my education courses. I'm wanting to be a high school teacher, so I decided to teach The Crucible, so I decided I would get ahead and read it in October. And plus, what better time to read about the Salem witch trials than in October? And I love the color. It screams Halloween, and I love it so much. So the next book I want to read is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. This is another one I was supposed to read in a lot of my TBR videos. For a lot of months I was supposed to read it, but I still haven't read it, and I really need to. But it's the first book in the Raven Cycle series, and it's about a girl who named Blue Sergeant, who has a clairvoyant mother, and she sees the soon-to-be dead, and she meets the Raven Boys, and she's always been warned she will cause her true love to die. She doesn't believe in true love and never thought this would be a problem, but as her life becomes caught up in the strange and sinister world of the Raven Boys, she's not so sure anymore. So this book and series sounds really good, and with the raven on the cover is the perfect fall read, and I'm really looking forward to it. And again, if I like it, I will continue on with the series. So the next book I want to read is The Vines by Christopher Rice, and it's a adult horror novel with paranormal aspects in it, and it takes place on a plantation in New Orleans. And this plantation mansion is supposedly haunted. So I'm really looking forward to reading that near Halloween and being really freaked out and scared. The next book I want to read is And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, which is a crime mystery novel by the Queen of Mystery herself, Agatha Christie, and it takes place on a freaky island. All the people who are guests on the island start to disappear or get killed, and it's a mystery, and I'm looking forward to reading it maybe on a stormy night in October. So the next Agatha Christie book I want to read is Murder on the Orient Express, which is about people on a train and someone gets murdered and a detective is trying to figure out who on the train killed them. So the movie comes out in November, so I thought October would be the perfect time to read it. Then the next book I want to try to read, I won't read it all in October, but I at least want to read some of it, is It by Stephen King. It's about a killer clown in a town named Derry, and kids start to become missing, and it's about these adults who come back as adults to come back and get revenge on the clown and kill him. But I'm not going to explain too much because you should know what it is about, but I'm hoping to at least read some of it and then finish it by the end of November maybe. But it's a honker, so we'll see. It's pretty darn big. And then the last few books I want to read are in an Amazon order that will get here tomorrow, so I'm just going to explain them to you. So the first one I want to read is Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. It's an adult thriller novel that's a lot of booktubers really love. I'm not really sure what it's about, but I heard it was really good, so I thought I would get it and read it in October. And then the next book is The Girl in 6E by A.R. Torre, or Torres or something. I don't know if I wrote it right, but it's about a girl who has these motivations or inklings to kill people, so she's trapped in her apartment. That's all I really know, but it sounds really good, and it's another highly acclaimed book here on YouTube, or BookTube, and it's also an adult thriller. And then the next one I have is You by Caroline Kepnes, and that one's also a well-loved adult thriller on BookTube, and it takes place in the perspective of a stalker, and he refers to the person he's stalking as you, so it makes it very creepy and unsettling. But I'm hoping to also read that in October as well. So those are like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, like 14 or 15 books I want to read in October. That's a lot for me. I'm definitely not going to read all of them, but at least I have a lot to choose from. Am I right? Alright, I'm sorry that was a long video, but there's so many, fantasy, horror, and thriller books I want to read in October around Halloween. Yeah, let me know if you read any of the books down in the comments and give me your thoughts, but no spoilers. Comment down below what you're planning on reading in October. Like this video if you're ready for the fall, and subscribe if you want to see my beautiful face some more. Hi, I'm Jordan Nicole. I post book videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I normally do top 10 Tuesday videos and other book videos on Thursdays. I love y'all to the moon and back, and I will see you Thursday with a new video. Bye! Let me see if I can stack these. Oh Lord, I don't know, y'all. Okay, I don't even have all of them. I'm missing 4. I can't even stack them. They're all the books except for the 4 coming in the mail that I'm planning on reading in October. Yay! Bye, y'all.